New York City. The Christmas trees are all now out of the apartments and on the street. You can walk down the streets of New York and you see Christmas trees piled up like linebackers and quarterbacks and running backs after a play in football or whatever sport you like, where people pile on each other as part of the sport. So it's a different type of season that we're moving into. At the Intelligent Community Forum, one of the things that I think about a lot are the differences between intelligent communities and smart cities. One way to think about it is that smart cities, as we always say, is about the technology. It has a machine or a device sort of at the center. And intelligent communities, as I like to say, have a soul, and that soul is designed for human joy. There's something else to it as well that I experience and that I think about a lot. And one is the lived experience in a city, the day-to-day, the things you see, at the material level in the city, the way it operates, the way the technology manages traffic, picks up the trash, manages the data in the city for a variety of purposes. That's the lived experience, and that's the thing that we kind of all focus on our day-to-day lives. And those of us who work in the area of intelligent communities, smart cities, thinking about urban planning and the future of people and the joy that we want to evoke from them is conditioned by that. But there's also something else that I think is really important, and that is the moral imagination of a place. And I think Christmas actually represents that, because if you think about Christmas in the traditional sense, it is about the aspiration that there is hope brought into the world, or that there's this person who flies around the world delivering gifts if one is good, if one has behaved, if one has rectified their own situation or is trying to. And when we think about the moral imagination of a city, it is really that aspiration that wants to make the place better and better and better, and that you can't physically always see. It's the spirit that, for example, drives someone like Rachel Kane, who we just did a podcast with, to organize citywide trash pickup that is so inspiring, and where young people have so much fun that it's become the hottest, quote, club, according to the media in New York. Her moral imagination was driven around the obviously lived experience. There's a lot of garbage in New York. But her imagination dictated to her something quite different, that this is a great city and that she can make it better in her way by picking up the garbage. Now, she's not going to pick up all the garbage, nor are the hundreds now of people who are part of this club, which is just an imaginative and great event that takes place weekdays around the city. But what she was saying was that I think a lot about how this place can be, how I like it to be, and I want to give people who follow this organization, it's called Pick Up Pigeons, a way to see the city, to go out into the city and to experience it, to experience each other, to experience the physical parts of the city, both good and bad, and parts that they've never seen, to get out of themselves, to get out of their apartments, to get out of their silos, off their devices, out of the places that sort of incubate them sometimes negatively, and to experience others and engage in their imaginations as well. It's what any political campaign is probably about. It's what any religious movement is certainly about, the imagination of a more hopeful place, a more hopeful life, a better way to live. But it is certainly what the experiences of people in these communities within communities are telling us. And when we experience them in the different intelligent communities of the world, it's really quite remarkable. It always blows me away how people respond to certain things in the world that, again, engages them to act in a way that is beyond themselves, that engages the imagination. that gives them sort of the sustenance to wake up with hope.
We'll be back with more of the Intelligent Community in a moment. The Intelligent Community is the official podcast of the Intelligent Community Forum. For cities, counties, and regions around the world, ICF charts new paths to economic and community development using digital technology and a holistic approach to growth. We do it through a program called the Community Accelerator. Our work is based on the experience of more than 200 communities in an active network and 25 years of consulting and research into their best practices. To learn more about how your community can benefit or to become a member of our network, visit www.intelligentcommunity.org and look for us on X, Instagram, and LinkedIn @New Communities, and watch for Lou's weekly vlogs. This podcast is funded by the members of the forum and the ICF Institutes in Ohio and Taiwan. If you like this podcast and are hearing it for the first time, a new podcast drops every 2 weeks. To listen to previously released episodes, visit intelligentcommunity.org/podcast or wherever you get your podcasts. And now back to the Intelligent Community Podcast.
Governor Cuomo, the first Governor Cuomo, Mario Cuomo, used to write a lot about hope. And he said, I don't know how a human being can wake up in the morning if they don't have some kind of hope. Even if it's a, quote, false hope or one perpetuated by an imagination or some kind of a fantasy, a lot of those things can be crafted societally into productive parts of the society, new organizations, new ideas. And so at the Intelligent Community Forum, when we talk about using our intelligence, we talk about thinking through things that may not even exist, but that can be brought into existence. One of the things that I've been thinking about during the Venezuela crisis here in the United States is the number of Venezuelans that have come to the United States. There's been this enormous diaspora of Venezuelans in our community here and around the country. People who are educated, people who thirst for freedom, but also people who have an imagination and want to be entrepreneurs, want to experience the opportunities that freedom can bring them. Freedom, of course, engages the imagination like no other thing. But they're not going back. There's no reverse diaspora. Whereas in Vietnam, as we saw in Binh Duong, our Intelligent Community of the Year, we have a whole cast of people who are living outside the country in places like Paris or Los Angeles or other parts of the world, and who suddenly felt hope, suddenly felt that their community, in that case Binh Duong, but their whole country, Vietnam, which is undergoing this renaissance, was now a place that would allow them to feel proud, to move beyond the lived experience and to engage themselves as part of the society that they're building going forward. Binh Duong is a dream. If you were there or you've ever been there, you've ever heard about it from us or anyone else, it was actually something that didn't exist. And yet they took ideas from our friends in Eindhoven, from us, from our books, we're proud to say, but from every place that they visited, from Singapore, from Taiwan. They looked at the entire canvas, as many intelligent communities do, and brought it back home and created a place that people could call home, where they could experience joy. So as I look at these Christmas trees scattered all up and down the streets, now with the pine needles falling off into the snow or onto the sidewalks, and I think to myself, when the hell are they going to get picked up by the sanitation department? But I also think to myself, these represented for a couple of weeks imagination, hope, joy, togetherness, all the things that we want to build in an intelligent community. So it's always possible. A tree is a small thing to put up, but putting up a city, like many of our intelligent communities now are, that can draw people back is really living the life of the moral imagination. And so I'm hopeful as we enter into the new year, despite all the stuff that's in front of us, all the stuff that's gone before us, because I really do think that not only can we not live without hope, there are so many reasons to be hopeful. And as we look back through the centuries, depending on who you read, who you look at, it's always the ones with hope that have put hope to work, that have succeeded and lived the lives they wanted to live. So that's what I wanted to say. And remember, as I always say, there really is no place like home. Take care, everybody.